Hello everybody, and welcome to another really long video where I talk about things and you guys listen, I think. So, to celebrate the ending of one of my favorite shows of all time, The Boys, today we're going to do a special ranking. I'm going to rank every single, well, not every single, the characters I have pictures for, but it'll kind of include some other people. I'm going to include every single character in the YTMCU that I have photos for and that has appeared in movies. And we're going to rank them based on whether or not I think if they would beat Homelander in a fight. Now I know I'm a little biased because I make these movies, but I'm going to be completely for real on what I actually think would happen in all these based on the evidence that I have. And now we're just going to see. So with no further ado, let's talk about it. Okay. First up, we have Avalanche from Psylocke X-Force. Let's be for real here. Dude is cooked. He can shoot sound waves out of his hands. But other than that, I mean, the only people he's taken down with them were Phantom X and Deadpool, who were not even paying attention to him. And then Psylocke was able to take him out. So I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that Avalanche is not beating Homelander. At all. No chance. Okay, Black Tarantula 1 from Hellcat. So, Mr. Black Tarantula 1. He got his powers from a mystical serum that gives him super strength, speed, laser vision, like Homelander. But for the most part, I'm gonna say... Okay, let's actually think about this real quick. So, Black Tarantula's greatest feats, he's bulletproof. He was able to get shot repeatedly by guns and just absolutely dismiss the bullets. He's strong enough that he can easily kill people like Hellcat, whom he did, and Blind Spot, whom he did pretty quickly. He can easily knock around Jessica Jones, who we know Jessica Jones is recorded to have fought in Rhino, which we have not seen Rhino in the YTMCU, but you can just imagine how strong someone like him would be. Someone that can run through buildings and throw cars and things of that variety. So, you gotta admit, he's probably pretty strong. His heat vision has never really been shown to do anything that crazy, I would say. That's probably like his weakest link. I don't know if he could damage Homelander. I know Homelander would probably be strong enough to damage him, which would be the biggest problem here. And we saw Black Tarantula get beaten by Hellcat. But we also saw Black Tarantula was strong enough to kill Speed Demon, and Speed Demon was able to be thrown by Hyperion and not die. So that's pretty impressive. But I'm gonna say Black Tarantula is almost like a weaker version of Homelander that just cannot fly. So I'm gonna say Black Tarantula 1 would lose to Homelander. I think he has a better chance than Avalanche, just based on the abilities that he has at display. Blind Spot, he's a normal human being. Black Tarantula killed him. He's cooked. I think he has even less of a chance than Avalanche. Alright, Blood Hunter. So, Blood Hunter is a vampire. She's a daywalker. Half human, half demon hybrid. Half human, half vampire hybrid. We know she is able to dodge Moon Knight's Crescent Darts, which the Crescent Darts are shown to be at a similar speed to bullets. So, she can dodge bullets. That's pretty impressive. She moves fast enough to the normal human eye that she's a blur, so we know she's not slow. Due to being a vampire, just based on the status of vampires in the YTMCU, she's functionally immortal. She can regenerate very well. She can take an absolute beating. She has echolocation. And based on some of the stuff we see in the Blood Hunter movie, which isn't out yet, but I'm going to include it, she has an incredibly strong willpower and can survive things that most vampires wouldn't. For example, being starved for days of blood and any sustenance whatsoever. She's able to be psychically attacked and survive. The real question is, I don't know if she could hurt Homelander. He could hurt her. She'd probably just regenerate from that and come back. She's going to be fine for the most part. But I don't know if she could... Well, okay. So, in Season 3 of The Boys, we see Queen Maeve is able to harm Homelander by stabbing him through the ear with a metal straw, of all things. And we know the Bloodhunter has a scythe and a battle axe. The question is she strong enough that she can put a scratch on Homelander with those weapons? So, we know that Bloodhunter scales to Moon Knight, who we will talk about here in a little bit. She scales to him, and he is able to do things that are pretty good, like tearing rebar out of concrete, able to knock out someone who was able to pick up and throw tanks, survive tank missile rounds, and fight an army of 300 dudes by himself, which is Nemean, who we'll talk about here in a little bit. And we see Homelander get beaten pretty bad by Butcher and Ryan, which even before Ryan came in, Butcher was doing some harm to him, and Soldier Boy can also hurt Homelander. With their physical power, like feats based on what we've seen from them, we've seen Butcher beat superhumans before, like to a pulp, but we've also seen Moon Knight do the same thing. And if Bloodhunter's relatively close to him or scales somewhat to him, that kind of could be a similar thing. So I think by virtue of Bloodhunter's regeneration and her comparable strength to someone like Soldier Boy or Billy Butcher, if Homelander can't actively leave the scene like he did against Soldier Boy and Butcher, I think Bloodhunter has a chance because of her regeneration and her superhuman senses, which probably are stronger than Homelander just by virtue of her being a vampire. And she's incredibly quick as well, able to dodge things that equate to bullet level speed, and survive a whole lot of stuff that is pretty tough. Not to mention some of her later abilities, which we haven't seen yet, but would be a big help against Homelander. We've seen Homelander get damaged and held down by people even in his super form. So I'm actually going to give Bloodhunter the benefit of the doubt here due to her supernatural status as someone who can fight pretty well. She doesn't have as many strength feats as other characters that we'll see here today, but we know that she is, for one, a much better combatant than Soldier Boy, Homelander, or Billy Butcher. She's physically faster than Billy and Soldier Boy, so she can keep up with Homelander and actually dodge him. And if she can do the damage that Maeve did, say putting her scythe through Homelander's ear or mouth even, I think she could actually hurt him. I think she has a good chance, so I'm going to put Bloodhunter in may win. I think she has a good chance, but we don't know for sure as of right now. All right, Bucky. Simply put, Bucky is not going to be able to beat Homelander. His weapons consist of firearms. His metal arm we've seen get cut off by Zemo, so it's not even going to be able to stick around long enough to hurt Homelander. So I'm just going to say he would lose. I think he would do better than Blind Spot, but compared to the others, he's not doing much. Bullseye. He can't do anything to hurt. Maybe if he can chuck something through his ear. I'm going to keep using that just because of the fact that it worked. I'm going to say Bullseye has a better chance than Blind Spot, but barely. Crossfire, literally the same as Bullseye, but with a gun. I'm going to give him a worse chance than Bullseye, just because of his limited ability. Cyber, okay, let's talk about Cyber. So, Cyber has one weakness, that being there's a spot between his eyes that if you can hit, you can die. Other than that, though, he has the ability to produce neurotoxins through his claws. He has indestructible skin made of adamantium, which Homelander's probably not going to be able to hurt with his strength or with his vision. We've never seen Homelander's vision be hot enough to melt adamantium or something similar to it. So, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say Homelander probably can't hurt Cyber, like physically harm him, unless he hits that spot, something like his heat vision or something. But we've seen him get thrown around by Phantom X and his weapons. We saw him tank a bomb to the chest. That's pretty impressive, and he's completely bulletproof. I don't think Cyber has the physical strength to hurt Homelander. But he does have the durability to survive Homelander. I don't know how the neurotoxins would work. His claws are made of adamantium, so they could probably cut Homelander's skin and inject him with venom, with neurotoxic venom. I don't know how Homelander would react to that. I don't personally know the full effects of Cyber's neurotoxic venom. But just based on the fact that he's not indestructible, except for one part of his body, and Phantom X was only able to defeat him via using his intellect, which Phantom X is way, way smarter than Homelander. He's probably one of the smartest characters in this entire universe. He's like Sister Sage level IQ. I'm going to say Cyber probably has the best chance out of anyone here on the would-lose section. He's got more durability than Black Tarantula and literally anyone else here, which just by virtue of that means he's got the most survivability. Daredevil, he's a normal human. He has fast senses, but he's not going to be fast enough to dodge Homelander's attacks. He's cooked. Next up is Deadpool. I think Deadpool kind of has a similar thing going as Cyber here, but rather than being indestructible, he is nigh unkillable because of his regeneration. And Deadpool's arsenals mainly consist of adamantium swords and bullets and guns. I don't think Deadpool is going to be necessarily... hold on. Deadpool is able to cut Havoc's plasma beams with his swords and actively, like, resist them. And also go down from being blasted by Havoc's blast without, dying. The only thing that really was able to harm him was Omega Red's carbonadium tentacles and Wolverine's claws, but he got up from that. He did pretty good. Deadpool definitely have the survivability to survive Homelander, and with the adamantium swords, he might actually be able to cut through Homelander's skin just by virtue of the weapon arsenal that Deadpool has. He might be able to harm Homelander. Homelander's going to keep killing him, and he's just going to keep getting back up from that, which I think will piss Homelander off so bad. Deadpool's a really good combatant, better than Billy and Soldier Boy and Ryan, for sure. I don't know if Deadpool has the ability to kill him, but he might just because of his weapon arsenal. I don't know if he has the speed. He was able to hit Havoc's beams of light, which are beams of light, and he was able to block them with his swords, which means he might be able to block Homelander's heat vision. But I don't think he has the speed to react, like, physically wise to Homelander. And he probably does not have the strength to hurt Homelander. But if he can cut him with the swords, I think he could actually hurt him. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Deadpool probably lose. I'm going to give him a similar chance to Cyber based on his weapons, but probably not going to win. He doesn't have the strength of Bloodhunter or the speed of Bloodhunter or the senses of Bloodhunter, which is a detriment to him. Next is Doctor Strange. Now, personally, I think Doctor Strange would win. We've seen Doctor Strange. He can teleport. Okay, let's give him all his abilities here. Let's not just, go Midnight Sun style where he only has certain abilities. So we know he can shoot balls of fire. He can create ice. He can create lightning. He can use black magic. He can teleport. He can create shields, which we've seen be able to block Hellfire Blast from Satan. We know he can use magic to create portals between dimensions. Physically, Doctor Strange does not have the durability to survive Homelander, but with his astral form, which we haven't seen, but actually forget that. I'm going to say Doctor Strange probably has the magic necessary to hurt Homelander. If nothing else, he has abilities that can manipulate your soul, which he could use against Homelander. I don't know if he necessarily has the speed needed to put down, to get to Homelander. But I'm gonna go on a limb here and say most likely, because in the last episode we've seen Homelander kind of get fucked a little bit on his speed, which I think is a massive detriment because that gives Doctor Strange opportunities. And Doctor Strange has magic that can affect people on a whole different scale. There's no physical magic in the Boys universe, which puts Homelander at a big detriment because we don't know how magic would react with his whole ability set. I'm going to say Doctor Strange would beat Homelander. Out of all people we've listed so far, he has the most diverse abilities, the most dangerous person here against Homelander just because of the crazy crap he, can do. Next up is Electro. Electro's not going to be able to hurt Homelander. Electro himself can be hurt and killed, which is his biggest problem. He might be able to turn into a living form of electricity and survive Homelander, but I don't know if he's fast enough. I'm going to say Homelander probably places around where Avalanche is in the would-lose tier. I'm going to put him above just because lightning is better than shockwaves. All right, next up is Phantom X. My poor boy. All I gotta say is Mr. Sinister punched a hole through Phantom X. So that's a big problem. Phantom X can create a lot of weapons. He can teleport, he can turn invisible, he can create bombs, he can create firearms like shotguns and bullets, but I don't think any of that is going to be strong enough to kill Homelander. He might be able to turn invisible and attack Homelander from the inside like Queen Maeve did, which would be his best advantage here, which we know it is possible because he did the same thing to Cyber. He was able to find his weakness. We know his system is able to track weaknesses, but I don't know if he could survive long enough to find out Homelander's weakness. Which, to be fair, Homelander is probably more susceptible to certain things of Phantom X's abilities rather than someone like Sinister, because Sinister, has regeneration and teleportation and a very varying amount of abilities. Phantom X has much higher intelligence. He's a great physical combatant, better than anybody Homelander's ever fought, skill-wise. He has a plethora of different abilities. The only thing that is going to be a detriment to him is his durability. We've seen him get blasted by someone like Mr. Sinister, and he survived. So I don't know if Homelander's heat vision could actually eviscerate Phantom X, but we know Homelander's punch is going to be strong enough to probably kill Phantom X. So if Phantom X can somehow find a way around being punched through the stomach, he could probably come up with a way to beat Homelander. So I'm going to put him in the May win. I'm going to put him below Bloodhunter just because he doesn't have the speed nor the physical strength to do what she can do to him. But I'm going to say he may win. Gina Flint, human with a gun, better off than Blind Spot, but she's cooked. No, not better off than Deadpool. She is definitely not better off than Deadpool. Screw it, let's put her down here because my tier list is being stupid. Sure. Okay. All right, next up we have Gorgon. Gorgon, he's a mutant. He has telepathy. And he has one ability that can hurt Homelander and potentially even stop the fight then and there, which would be his stone gaze. He can turn people to stone by looking into their eyes for long enough. If Gorgon could manage to look him in the eyes long enough to turn him to stone, the fight would be over. Psylocke was able to get out of this through pure willpower and through manipulation of her body through psychic energy. This wasn't really like a physical strength thing, and I don't know if Homelander could break out of it. He might be able to. He might be able to do that, and then he would kill Gorgon. But we've seen Gorgon react to Psylocke and be on a similar level of speed to her, which we'll talk about her later. Due to his ability to turn people to fucking stone, I'm going to say he may win. If this stone ability can turn Homelander to stone and he can't break out of it, he would win. He's skilled, he's fast, he can react. I'm going to say he may win and put him below Phantom X. All right, next up is Grand Maul, another vampire, much like Bloodhunter. So we know from canon statements, he is an extremely fast martial artist. Out of the three assassins, he's the fastest one. He's got the most speed. He's like hypersonic fast. He can manipulate electricity, and he's a great combatant. I don't know if he has the physical power to put down Homelander. He has not been as strong, like shown to be as strong as Blood Hunter, like per se. He can hurt demons, which we know demons are strong, because demons can be slashed by the Ebony Blade. They can be hurt by magic and survive. And we know, we've seen Grand Maul kill one with his bare hands. Which means I might actually go out on a limb here and say Grand Maul could beat Homelander. He might be fast enough to actually dodge Homelander's attacks. I'm going to say if he's faster than Blood Hunter, he's probably fast enough to get out of that. His control over lightning is much better than someone like Electro. He has regeneration, he's got super speed, super strength. He's immortal because he's a vampire. And he's a superhuman with the ability to control lightning even before he was a vampire. I'm also debating, could any of these vampires like suck Homelander's like compound V infested blood and gain his powers? I don't know. I'm gonna say no just for the sake of making this argument. But I'm gonna say Grand Maul might be able to beat Homelander if he's able to summon enough electric power and attack Homelander with it. He might be able to win. He was put down by Moon Knight, but we'll get to him later. He's pretty strong. I don't know. Grand Maul was kind of in the midst of like attacking Moon Knight while he was hit, which we know Moon Knight's ability to take a hit and punch back is like his best thing. Homelander doesn't really have the same willpower as Moon Knight does to kind of want to attack you after that. I'm going to say Grand Maul may win. He kind of has the same thing going as Blood Hunter with like his senses and speed and, you know, lightning power, which we've never seen the extent of what his lightning can do, but we know it can hurt Tudor. And Tudor was able to regenerate from having a hole punched through him. So Grand Maul might actually be able to have enough physical... I don't think Grand Maul punch for punch is going to be able to kill Homelander or hurt him. But with his electricity powers, he may be able to kill Homelander. Green Goblin. So I'm going to go on a limb here and say Green Goblin probably isn't going to win this. His weaponry is not powerful enough to hurt Homelander. his most powerful bomb that we saw in the movie destroyed a parking garage. Didn't kill Sin-Eater, which then again, one of Sin-Eater's abilities we'll get to later. Green Goblin couldn't kill him. Green Goblin couldn't kill Spider-Man. Well, wouldn't kill Spider-Man, I should say. He could have, but he probably didn't. He doesn't have the weaponry to hurt Homelander, and he doesn't have the physical abilities to survive being attacked by Homelander. I'm gonna say he would lose. He probably is on a similar scale to Black Tarantula, but lower. His weaponry just doesn't have the ability to harm Homelander. He has super strength. He has like a super soldier serum type thing, but it's just not going to be enough. Hammerhead, he's a normal human. He doesn't even have firearms like Gina, so he's going to be absolute bottom of the barrel compared to anyone else here. Where did he go? Where did he go? He's gone. Oh, good lord. My list is geeking. I will say also, in the series, they talk about needing to destroy Homelander using like a hydrogen bomb. But like, they didn't need one at the end of the day, so screw that. Hannibal King. He is the worst of the vampires in the universe. He's not as fast or as powerful or as intelligent. Well, he's intelligent. Not as combat intelligent as any of the other vampires shown here. And he is not going to have the same durability as them because he's mostly human. So I'm going to say he would lose. I'm going to put him on a similar position to Bucky, just because he does have vampirism at the end of the day, and that gives him... Harold Meacham, he is a human, lowest tier of the humans, so he is going to go below Hammerhead. Havoc. Okay, let's talk about Havoc. So I'm going to say Havoc wins. First of all, Homelander's heat vision is not going to do anything to Havoc. Havoc's literal ability is to absorb energy and redirect it. He's just going to tank that, and he's going to be fine. He also can tank kinetic energy, which means Homelander's punches and attacks, he can literally absorb the force from them. Havoc can redirect that power back into either small blasts, small discs, or chest blasts, which the most powerful chest blast we saw him use. I've said this in canon statements. That blast could probably have destroyed an entire mountain range, which that would be more powerful than anything we've seen Homelander do. I'm not going to go off what Homelander said he could do because he just never does it. I'm going to go off what it's shown to have done. And even that, Havoc was able to put down Pyro. And obviously, we've seen Pyro is pretty durable. He was able to survive his own explosion that destroyed a 50-mile radius of sheer matter. He can create an explosion of fire big enough to completely vaporize a 50-mile radius around him. And Havoc was able to survive. He wasn't shown to survive that, but for the sake of the story, he didn't need to. Hi, Riz. Hello. My kitty. Kitty. What you doing? But no. Homelander is just not going to be able to hurt Havoc. And Havoc does absolutely have the ability to hurt him. Havoc's incredibly powerful. And when he's like truly locked into a fight, we know he can absolutely go with the best of them. Pyro couldn't even kill him. The worst he did was burn his jacket. And Havoc was able to survive. I'm going to say Havoc would win. He doesn't have the same hacks and abilities as Doctor Strange. But his ability to absorb both Homelander's physical attacks and his light and his heat vision is going to be a massive thing against Homelander. And his plasma blast packs more of a punch than anything we've seen any other suit do in The Boys. Hawkeye, he's a normal human. He probably has a similar like ability to survive compared to someone like Bullseye or Crossfire, but with a bow and arrow instead of a gun or any other normal weapons. No? Okay, my tier list is so dumb. Get down there, get down there. Okay, whatever. Alright, Hellcat. Hellcat has adamantium claws. She has the ability to resurrect from the dead 9 times. However, she was killed by Black Tarantula. Homelander's faster than Black Tarantula, has stronger heat vision than Black Tarantula. Hellcat is not as fast as Homelander. And no matter how many times she comes back, she's just going to get killed again. I'm going to say she would lose. But due to her ability to keep coming back, and the potential of her claws being able to cut Homelander's skin, similar to Deadpool, I'm going to give her the spot directly below him. Alright, Hyperion. Hyperion's fucking up Homelander. Hyperion is literally a stronger version of Homelander in every single way. I'm going to use feats from the Hyperion movie here, just to showcase kind of where he's at. We've seen Hyperion throw cars, bare hands, survive attacks from someone who completely evaporated not only an entire building, but an entire forest, and was able to destroy multiple city blocks with her power, that being Moonstone. Hyperion can react to speedsters that can move hypersonically fast and chuck them around. He's able to easily break out of Dr. Spectrum's light constructs. He is just incredibly powerful, and his heat vision was, at the end of the day, what took down Moonstone, and Moonstone was able to casually destroy Dr. Spectrum. And Dr. Spectrum is one of the strongest characters in the universe, well, in our universe. Hyperion, just fucking, dude, he just destroys Homelander. It's not even fair. He's more durable, he's faster, he's stronger, his heat vision is better. He's just beating the brains out of Homelander. In Hyperion, not only does he send Moonstone flying through an entire city block, which Homelander was not shown to do to other supes. He hits them and they kind of just like fall back or fly across the room. Hyperion literally sends people flying like blocks. He punched somebody into space. He didn't fly them up into space and leave them there. He punched them into space. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going any longer. Hyperion just claps Homelander, and he wouldn't feel bad about it either. He would destroy Homelander. And unlike Havoc and Dr. Spectrum, whereas Havoc might not be able to survive Homelander if he builds up too much energy, but I think he would. Doctor Strange is immortal. At the end of the day, he would die if he got hit, but he probably wouldn't. Hyperion, if he would get hit or blasted by Homelander, would literally have no effect on him whatsoever. So he's fine. He's fine. Jessica Jones, beaten by Black Tarantula, who's a weaker Homelander. She's going to go... I'm going to say she's going to go right here with Electro. Luke Cage, he's bulletproof, completely indestructible, similar to Cyber. He's stronger than Cyber, but we've never seen him do anything strong enough to put down Homelander. So I'm going to put him right here behind Black Tarantula. Mastermind, he's a robot. He was taken out by Phantom X and Deadpool. He is probably going to go similar to... I'm going to say he's stronger than Goblin, Jessica, and Luke because he has more like variable robotic abilities such as shooting lasers and out of his eyes and hands, but other than that, he's not going to do anything. Alright, next up, let's talk about Moon Knight. Why are you looking at me like that? Next up, let's talk about Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight. Okay, so, what is Moon Knight's abilities? Moon Knight has the ability to, if he is killed, he comes back from the dead. We've seen this. So, no matter how many times Homelander punches a hole through him or he visions him, he's just going to get resurrected and come back. Moon Knight can tear concrete out of rebar. He can rip people's organs out of their bodies. He is shown to defeat Nemean, Grand Maul, and Blood Hunter, who I said both of those two have a chance of beating Homelander. Due to their strength, which he is stronger than both of them. And here's where I have the Nemean comparison. Nemean is stated to have been shot by tank missiles and been fine. He fought an army of 300 men by himself. He's a vampire. He's completely indestructible. And Moon Knight took him out. Moon Knight punched him so hard it knocked him out. I don't know if Moon Knight could kill Homelander. Maybe after he knocks him out, he could just beat him to death. But Moon Knight is most likely going to beat Homelander. If you want to say, like, first to die, Moon Knight's probably going to die first and then just keep fighting after. He's just going to get back up and do it all again. And that's just his base form. If we're considering God Moon Knight with the Khonshu powers, he's killing Homelander. With his abilities to warp reality, he most likely could just take Homelander's powers away or just completely erase him. He did that with Tudor. He took Tudor's vampirism away and killed him. So I'm going to say he most likely could take away Homelander's powers. But in base form, he's pretty strong. His armor is made of adamantium. So if Homelander hits anything besides his stomach, he's probably not going to kill Moon Knight. It's just going to bounce off. Our version of Moon Knight is a lot stronger than the comic version, I would say. And I don't know if he could kill Homelander. I'm going to say he probably could. If Moon Knight is fully unleashing his strength and not holding back, we've seen him take down demons and vampires and zombies, who I compared earlier. If we're going to say Moon Knight comes back from the dead and can just keep fighting, he's eventually going to get Homelander. If not, there's a chance. If God Knight comes into play, he's killing Homelander. So I'm going to say, just based on the stipulation of potentially not coming back to life, I'm going to say may win, but he has the highest chance out of anyone here. Just because, you know, that's kind of his thing. He is survivable beyond compare. And unlike someone like Deadpool, he is way stronger, has way more weapons. He just is crazy durable. He has a lot of experience. He is functionally immortal, can resurrect from the dead, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yeah. Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister would probably beat Homelander. Mr. Sinister can regenerate. He can shoot lasers of his own. He can shoot Psychic Blast and Energy Blast. He can teleport. He can create clones of himself. Granted, he doesn't do this in the fight. Sort of, but all that said, I would say he would probably beat Homelander. He's fast enough to react to Homelander and hurt him. His blasts are probably going to be powerful enough to hurt Homelander. He has the ability to redirect energy. We saw him do that against Psylocke. He could probably just flick away his heat vision. Mr. Sinister is one of the most dangerous mutants, and not to mention, he can kill Homelander psychically from the inside by just attacking him and blowing his brain up, which he can do. He tried to do that to Psylocke, but she did it back to him instead, because she is much more powerful of a telepath, but that is not saying anything, because Mr. Sinister is an incredibly powerful telepath. I'm going to say Mr. Sinister wins. He punched a hole through Phantom X and killed him, which we've seen Phantom X take hits from Cyber, and other people like that, including he's taken hits from Mastermind, Cyber, and Avalanche on this list. So I'm going to say Mr. Sinister kills Homelander. I'm going to say he's below Havoc. Well, actually, I'm going to say he's above Havoc, honestly. He's faster than Havoc. He has more different abilities than Havoc. Heck, I might even put him above Doctor Strange just because his regeneration. Mr. X, he's cooked. He can regenerate for a little bit, but at the end of the day, he's gonna die. I'm gonna put him probably around the same tier as... Okay, whatever. You know what? The bottom list just does not want to work for me. So, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Mystique, she's cooked. She's dead. She's not doing anything. At the end of the day, her durability is superhuman, but like that's it. That's it. Mystique, get up there. Get in your spot. We saw her get beat to death by Psylocke, who granted Psylocke is a mutant, so she's naturally stronger than people, like regular people. Nemean. Nemean is functionally indestructible. He has survived tank rounds. He can hit people incredibly hard, throw demons into walls, beat demons to death, chop their heads off instantly. He's incredible. He can rip human limbs off like no diff. He can squish people's heads. Nemean is probably physically, like, in comparison to Homelander in strength. He's going to survive hits from Homelander. He might get knocked out by Homelander if Homelander punches him, like, in the right spot, the way Moon Knight did. I think Nemean has a strong chance of winning because his durability is just top-notch. He's stronger than someone like Luke Cage. He's a vampire, so he's immortal. He has super senses. He has been shown to have a lot of physical feats. He's incredibly tough, and he was actually able to take down Moon Knight with the help of Grand Maul in their first fight. I'm going to give this one to Nemean. I'm going to say he's probably above Bloodhunter and the may win. Actually, I might give him... It's tough. I'll keep him here. Omega Red. So, Omega Red's bulletproof. He has tentacles made of carbonadium, which can hurt people with healing factors. I'm going to go on a limb here and say he probably doesn't have the durability. Well, he gets repeatedly stabbed over and over by Wolverine and is still fighting, and not only fighting, but, you know, not dead. So I'm going to go on a limb here and... Well, he has a healing factor. Forget that. Omega Red can break Wolverine's neck with his tendrils. That's tough. This is tough. Actually, I think based on he survives grenades from Deadpool, gets shot in the face and is fine. The only thing that was able to take him out was an EMP from Phantom X's thing. He never really even gets hurt that bad against Wolverine and Deadpool at the same time. So I'm going to go on a limb here and say he could win. He could win. I'm going to put him... I think I'm going to put him around Bloodhunter. He's durable enough, he could probably survive Homelander. And that said, he's probably okay. Orson Randall. So I'm going to lump Orson Randall in here, kind of with Iron Fist, because they're kind of similar. So just assume Orson is probably around a similar power level to Iron Fist. And Iron Fist is like his punch was able to level an entire parking garage, which took down a building. So him punching Homelander would absolutely hurt him. He's pretty quick. Orson, I would say, in his old age, isn't as fast as Danny. But he's got a lot of physical power. He gets killed by Takeshi, so I'm going to say he's probably not durable enough to physically survive Homelander being, like, hitting him full force. But he could definitely harm Homelander. I'm going to go on a limb here and say he would not beat Homelander in a fair 1v1 fight. But he could definitely hurt him, like, for sure. I'm gonna give Orson Randall a similar, just based on the fact that his punch does so much damage, I'm gonna put him probably above Mastermind down here. Psylocke's killing Homelander. So, Psylocke can create force fields, which we've seen block attacks from Mr. Sinister, who we said could defeat Homelander. She is a master combatant. She can create weapons of energy, which includes psychic blast, energy blast, psychic weapons, force fields. So she could actually probably get around Homelander's attacks. She's fast enough to dodge bullets, which we see against Mystique while lying on the floor, mind you. She's fast enough to dodge attacks from Gorgon. She can dodge and block attacks from Mr. Sinister. So we know she's probably not going to get hit by Homelander just because she can just block his attacks. And if she gets damaged enough that she goes into higher plane mode, she would just absolutely mindfuck Homelander to death with her psychic powers and just blow his brain apart. And then just summon a powerful enough psychic attack to kill him. Psylocke is definitely going to beat Homelander. She just has the necessary powers to get around what he can do. And he does not have what's necessary to get around what she can do. Pyro's killing Homelander. Pyro takes attacks from Havoc, including that megaton blast. Pyro survives. Pyro survives that. Pyro has enough fire to nuke a 50-mile radius around him. I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let that go. He can do that. He can do that. He can create tendrils of fire that can bound people. He can punch hard enough to create shockwaves. He is insane. He's just crazy. I'm going to give him a better chance than Havoc because he is honestly probably crazier or on a similar level of insanity to Homelander, and absolutely not let that fucking loser beat him in a fight. Especially if we're going to mega level Pyro, he's just cooking. He's cooking Homelander, quite literally roasting him alive. Homelander stated he was hurt by an oven, being put in an oven and put up all the way. Pyro can literally atomize things with his fire. He would probably kill Homelander. Quicksilver. So Quicksilver is definitely a lot faster than Homelander. He's fast enough to literally move in stop time, which is crazy. I don't know if Quicksilver could generate enough physical force to hurt Homelander. In a movie that hasn't come out yet, he definitely can. But going based off of what we have right now, I'm going to say probably not. He could probably generate enough kinetic energy to knock out Homelander. And he would definitely not be able to get hit by Homelander. He's just way too quick. Homelander barely kept up with A-Train, who could, his top speed is 1,000 miles per hour. Pietro's speed is literally unfathomably fast. He would outspeed Homelander easily. It's tough. I think eventually he would just bombard. Okay, based just on time crimes. He was fast enough to move to stop time. He is just incredibly quick. He's incredibly intelligent and can process things extremely fast. I think he would find Homelander's weakness and just take him out. I think Quicksilver would win. If we're not including the Maximoffs, he would win. But if we were including the Maximoffs, he would most certainly win. Like, easily. Which, you know what, since we included Hyperion, let's include the Maximoffs. I'm gonna say Quicksilver fucking destroys Homelander. Creates cyclones of speed. He can create enough kinetic energy to absolutely destroy Magneto. He knocks out people like Polaris. He's just so fast and so powerful. He casually outspeeds Speed Demon and beats the literal shit out of him. So I'm gonna say Quicksilver beats Homelander. I'm gonna probably put him above Psylocke just due to the fact that if she gets hurt, she could potentially die. But Quicksilver is just not going to get caught with anything Homelander throws at him. He's just way too quick. For Al Bushman, he's a human, he's dead. Get in there. Get in there. Razor Fist, he's a human, he's dead. He's cooked. Rutherford Winter, he's a human, he's dead. Scorpion Scorpion's not powerful enough to harm Homelander. He just isn't. We can speed read some of these. Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is a human. He's not beating Homelander. Maybe able to dodge Homelander for a little while, but he just does not have what it takes to survive. Shocker, same case as Avalanche, except he's not a mutant. His tech can be destroyed. He's cooked. Sin Eater, now this is where it gets interesting. Sin Eater has the abilities of several other superhumans. So naturally, he can teleport. He has heat vision from Count Nefaria. He has indestructible skin from Grey Gargoyle. He has the ability to mind control people from Kilgrave. And he has, oh my god, what was the other thing? Sonic Blasts from Claw. We've seen powerful enough sonic frequencies hurt Homelander. So that's a thing. We know that the only way Grey Gargoyle could be killed was by being killed from the inside. Which Homelander, I don't know if Homelander would be smart enough to figure that out. I don't know if Sin Eater would be physically powerful enough to hurt Homelander. If that shotgun can break Homelander's skin and take his powers. But yeah, Sin Eater does not have the physical power to take down Homelander. Unless the gun, but I don't know if the gun would do that. The gun didn't get through Grey Gargoyle, so I'm gonna go on a limb and say the gun doesn't get through Sin Eater unless Sin Eater can shove the gun in his mouth and pop him open. But then again, with the new power Sin Eater has, he may be able to win. We know with the mask on, he's like almost unkillable. He tanked the whole parking garage destroying bomb that Green Goblin used against him. We know he can put on Spider-Man. The only person that was strong enough to really hurt him was Venom, and that was only really for a time before he fully developed his abilities. I'm gonna say Sin Eater might be able to beat Homelander. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of the list just because I don't know exactly. His sonic waves, heat vision, or his gun could work, but I'm saying he may win. Soldier, he's a normal dude. He's unfortunately getting cooked. We're almost nearing the end of the list. Oh no, Soldier is not that close to the top. He's so dead. Speed Demon. Speed Demon is just crappy Quicksilver. He does not have the physical power to harm Homelander. He can dodge him for a time, but he's not going to. He's gonna die. Black Tarantula took him out. He's dead. He's going in the Woodloos. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. What are you doing? Contrary to popular belief, I don't think Spider-Man could defeat Homelander. And I don't think he's gonna do it here either. He just doesn't have it in him. He doesn't have it in him to beat Homelander. Not in our universe. He just hasn't shown the feats. Sun King. Sun King can destroy a city block with his fire, but it also kills him. So we know he isn't durable enough. I don't think his fireballs could harm Homelander. I'm gonna say he loses. Takeshi, yeah, he's dead. He's a normal human too. He is just, the normal humans are just getting blasted through like it is no diff. The Hood. The Hood can teleport. He has mystically enhanced guns. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say he probably loses. We talked about his regenerative abilities in the matchup Monday with him and Tudor. I don't know if any of y'all saw that are watching this right now, but we know he can regenerate for a while before he dies. I don't think he has the power output to hurt Homelander unless he can use one of his mystical abilities to ricochet a bullet into Homelander's head, which he could possibly do. I'm not specifically sure on the durability of the Hood. The Hood didn't really get to do a lot, so he's kind of hard to gauge. But I'm gonna say, just based on like his certain mystical abilities, I'm gonna put him on the bottom. May win because of his regeneration. The only reason Iron Fist killed him was because his chi powers directly went against Homelander's demonic abilities. Tutor, let's talk Tutor. I think Tutor wins. Tutor can punch holes through people like Moon Knight, who Moon Knight is shown to be durable enough to take punches from people like Nemean, Bloodhunter, Grand Maul. Moon Knight's tanked C4 explosions, which Tutor put a hole through him. So that means he can punch stronger than a C4 bomb. He can create tendrils. He can manipulate blood. He can teleport. He can turn into sheeted bats and fly. He can move hypersonically quickly. He's a vampire, and he's Lamagra. He's one of the strongest vampires, has the power of the vampire god. I'm gonna say he would win. And based on that logic, I'm gonna say that Moon Knight would win as well. I'm gonna move Moon Knight to the woodwind here. Just based off of the fact that he beat Tutor. I'm gonna put him below Psylocke though, just based on the whole if you die once you're done thing. Alright, Venom. Venom's cooked. Homelander's heat vision would probably just get rid of the symbiote. He'd probably lose. I'm gonna put him at the top though, because we know Venom is pretty strong. Wolverine. So Wolverine, he's an interesting case. Wolverine, he can survive being shot with bullets, he can survive being shot with shotguns, he regenerated from having his neck broken by Omega Red, he regenerated from being beaten repeatedly by Omega Red, and we know Omega Red's weakness, well, Omega Red's carbonated tentacles is literally Wolverine's greatest weakness, same as Deadpool. He survived that. He is physically strong enough to punch through someone with bulletproof skin, which I think that goes a long way in helping him take out Homelander. I'm gonna put him on a similar scale to, you know, the Bloodhunter, the Omega Red, the Nemean here. He might be able to pierce Homelander's skin. I don't think he has the physical strength of someone like Nemean, Bloodhunter, or Omega Red to do that. But I'm gonna say he might win. He may win. He may win. He's smart, he's crafty, he's taken down sadistic people like Mr. X before. He'll be okay. And he'll likely survive. So I'm gonna say may win. I'm gonna put him beneath Omega Red. Let me move this tier in a little bit. No, not the woodwind, the may win. So let me do a quick readjustment real quick. I'm gonna say Phantom X is probably at the bottom of the may win just because of his durability. Is probably the worst out of anybody here. I'm gonna say, see, Gorgon has a chance with the stone thing, but if he doesn't get it, he's dead. He's so dead. I think Cinder has more ability to take down him than Gorgon does. I'm gonna put Gorgon at the bottom. He just doesn't have, he has one potential ability that can take down Homelander. I'm gonna put Grand Maul below. Actually, I think I'm just gonna put Cinder above Omega Red and Wolverine. Okay, that leaves us with two people. Baron Zemo, he's just done. He just is dead. He's so cooked. And that leaves us with Zhang Zhu. Now Zhang Zhu is a tough case. Zhang Zhu, he can teleport, he can create balls of energy that are made of magic. He has the ability to possess the souls of dead corpses. He was able to survive being hit thousands of times by the Iron Fist repeatedly, and survive the destruction of an entire building collapsing on his body. And he was only able to be killed by the whole chi thing. I don't know if Zhang Zhu has the power to hurt Homelander. Maybe using his magic he could, but his magic couldn't kill Daredevil or Spider-Man or Iron Fist or Shang-Chi. But he may be able to use it. I think out of the may win tier, he has probably like the best chance because he's hard to kill and he's has a lot of, you know, different abilities. So I'm gonna say Zhang Zhu may win. Put him at the top of may win. And I think with that, this list looks pretty accurate to me. Pretty accurate, I'd say. Let's recover. So in the wood lose, we have, starting with Zemo, he is a normal dude with a sword, he's dead. Takeshi, normal dude with swords, and dead. Sun King has a good abilities, but he's not powerful enough or durable enough to kill Homelander. Spider-Man, he's not going to beat Homelander. Speed Demon, he's fast, but he'll die. Soldier Boy, Fat Bot, Freddy, tell me everybody's fly. Soldier, he's a normal dude with a gun, he's dead. Shocker, he is a normal dude with shockwave gauntlets, he's dead. Shang-Chi, incredibly skilled and fast, but he's dead, he's a normal guy. Scorpion, he is a super soldier in an exosuit, but his lasers just don't have the capacity to harm Homelander. Rutherford, guy with a gun, dead. Razor Fist, dude with not even 2 arms, a sword, he's dead. Bushman, dead. Mystique, dead. Hawkeye, dead. Harold Meacham, dead. Hammerhead, dead. Gina, dead. Blind Spot, dead. Daredevil, dead. Crossfire, Bullseye, Hannibal King, Bucky, Avalanche, Electro. They don't have the ability to survive. Mr. X, he could survive for a minute, but he's dead. Jessica Jones, she's probably gonna die. She might be able to survive punches from him, but she's not going to forever. Green Goblin, he has some weapons that could keep him alive longer, but not for long. Luke Cage, he's durable. He might be durable enough, but I don't think in the long run he's going to make it. Mastermind, he just doesn't. He has a lot of good abilities, but he's not going to make it. Orson Randall, he's powerful enough to hurt Homelander with his punch, but he's not powerful enough to survive. Black Tarantula, he's kind of like a weaker Homelander. He can't fly. He inevitably gets beat by Hellcat's claws, which block his attack. Homelander might be able to actually block the vision. Cyber, he's completely indestructible besides one point, but I don't think he has the physical power to harm Homelander. Hellcat, she'll keep getting back up and keep fighting. If she can scratch him in the right place, she could do something, but I don't think it's likely. Deadpool, he'll never die, but he'll never kill Homelander. Venom, he has a natural weakness to Homelander's hypersonic scream and his heat vision. He's probably not going to win. Gorgon may win if he turns him to stone, which he might be able to do. If Homelander can't break out, he's dead. Phantom X, if Phantom X can use his battle IQ and intellect to find out a way to kill Homelander with his weaknesses, he could do it. With the Hood, he may regenerate long enough to find a way to use his mysticism to kill Homelander. Grand Maul, he's a vampire, he's incredibly fast, he has control over massive amounts of lightning. He may be able to take Homelander down with them. Wolverine, kind of a similar case to Deadpool, but he has more effective weaponry and more effective aggression. He survived more, and he just is tough nut to crack. Omega Red, his tendrils might actually be strong enough to kill Homelander, to break his neck, but I don't know if he's durable enough. We've seen him take a lot of very dangerous attacks and survive them, so maybe. Sin Eater, his own heat vision and plethora of abilities might be enough to hurt Homelander. However, he might not be able to survive Homelander, but I think out of a lot of villains, he has a high chance of doing so, but we don't know. I think he has a good chance just due to his abilities, and if his gun can kill Homelander and take his powers, there you go. Blood Hunter, she's super fast, super smart, has a plethora of different vampire abilities. We've seen her scale to people like Moon Knight, Nemean, and Grand Maul, and be on a similar tear with them. She's a great combatant. She has osmium weapons, which are incredibly strong. I think if she hits Homelander in the right spot, she could take him out. Nemean, he's just so fucking strong and durable, he might be able to just beat Homelander to death. Maybe. Zhang Zhu has a lot of magic abilities, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna say, though, if Homelander kills him, his soul will just find another body. Who knows how powerful the body will be, but he won't really die. Moon Knight would be strong enough to hurt Homelander, and you just couldn't kill the guy. He'll just keep coming back, and if he goes God Knight mode, Homelander's dead. Psylocke, your brain blew up. Anyway, she has enough abilities to just destroy him. Tudor, he regenerates, he's strong, he has a lot of abilities, he's a mortal supernatural being, he'll win. Quicksilver, he's fast, he can generate a lot of kinetic energy with his punches. Homelander's just not gonna be able to hit him. Havoc, he'll tank anything that Homelander has and blow it right back at him. Pyro, his destructive power is so immense that he could probably just annihilate Homelander. His power is similar to that of an atom bomb. Only difference is instead of it blows up a certain radius and then radiation, the radius is just atomized, and anything else besides it is just burned. Doctor Strange, he's got hacks to completely take out Homelander. If he can do the right thing and not get hit, he'll win. Mr. Sinister, he'll regenerate, he'll use clones, he'll use psychic powers, energy blasts, manipulation, he will win. He'll win. Hyperion, he's just Homelander, but way stronger, more confident, better fighting ability, and just a significantly stronger character by a long shot. And that completes the list of who I think would beat Homelander, who may beat Homelander, and who would definitely not beat Homelander. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. It wasn't as long as the last one, thankfully. But if you guys like to see more like this of like the YTMCU characters going up against Homelander, we could do it. There's a few YTMCU characters in movies that haven't appeared yet that could be included in a remake of this list that I definitely think would beat Homelander. Definitely, like I'm talking like Hyperion level of definitely, like Thor, Hercules, Ares, Hela, they're fucking destroying Homelander. But anyway, that's the list. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful evening.